Welcome to Class 10 Insight. In today's class, we shall be discussing about the passing package, which is very important from your examination point of view. So, in this video, we shall be having the theme-based question and answers. That is, I have a set of questions. For answering those type of questions, if you keep these key points in your mind, you can easily frame your answers using these key points. And here in the last column, we also have the expected marks. So let us start. Subsidiary alliance of Lord Wellesley. How did subsidiary alliance control Indian provinces? What were the conditions of subsidiary alliance? How did the British expand their empire during Wellesley's period? How could the British place Indian states under their control through the subsidiary alliance? So, if these are the questions asked, these are the key points you have to keep in mind. King had to keep the British army in kingdom. King had to pay maintenance charge. Appointment of British resident in his court. King could not keep any European. Company offered protection to the state. What is the expected marks? It is around 2 to 3. Next topic, effects of British land tax system. So based on this theme, what are the questions that can be expected? What are the impacts of British land tax system in India? Explain how the land revenue system of the British affected the farmers. It was asked in April 2018 and June 2019, that is the supplementary. Land tax policies of the British affected the Indian agriculture. September 2020, British land tax system made the Indian farmers born in debt, live in debt and died in debt. How? Very important question. We can expect this question this year. A new class of zamindars was created. The farmers became landless slowly. Land became a commodity. Loans could be raised by mortgaging the lands. Many zamindars also had to mortgage their lands to pay tax. The agriculture became commercialized. The money lenders became strong. So these are the points which will support your answers. We can expect this for 3 mark, any of these questions. Next theme is British education, English education or modern education. Expected marks is 4. How did the education play a role in bringing new awareness among Indians? This could be the question, or else the British rule had major impacts on the field of Indian education. Justify. Development in education and journalism led to the freedom struggle in India. Explain. The British education system created a new generation of Indians with progressive attitudes. Justify. The new thinking and perception emerged because the British education created a new generation of Indians. How? What were the impacts of British education in India? If at all, these are the questions. These are the key points you have to keep in mind. What were the impacts of British education in India? This is one of the important questions. All are equally important. Indians developed modernity. Indians developed modernity. Indians developed secularism. Developed democratic attitudes. Developed nationalistic ideals. Local literature developed. Local languages developed. Periodicals started. Social religious movements started. Fresh thinking began. Influenced Indian freedom struggle. So, if these points are involved in the questions asked here, it is very clear that you will be getting 3 to 4 marks. For 3 marks, based on Tipu Sultan or the Third Anglo-Mysore War, that is Srirangapatna Treaty. What were the effects of Third Anglo-Mysore War? What are the terms of the Treaty of Srirangapatna? Tipu was defeated, gave half of his kingdom, forced to pay 3 crores of rupees as war damage, which is not at all a small amount. As a result, he had to pledge 2 of his children as hostages, released the prisoners of war. One is expected for 4 marks. What are the achievements of Krishnaraja Wadiyar 4? Mysore became a model state during the administration of Krishnaraja Wadiyar 4. Substantiate your answer. So you have to justify what were all the improvements done during Krishnaraja Wadiyar 4's rule in Mysore. Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV was much interested in spreading education among his people. How will you justify this? You have to justify. It was asked in April 2023. So, fees was abolished in primary schools, helped girls' education, very important point, started University of Mysore, which is theirs even till date, developed irrigation, reforms in gold mine, new railway lines were laid, formed a legislative council, encouraged musicians, started many industries, established Indian Institute of Science. These are all the great achievements of Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV, which happened during his rule. So we people of Karnataka are very much fortunate to be born in this wonderful state and country. Next is a 3-mark expected question. Achievements of Chikkadevaraja Odayar. What are the achievements of Chikkadevaraja Odayar? Chikkadevaraja Odayar was an efficient soldier and administrator. Justify. So which are the keywords you have to keep in mind when Chikkadevaraja Odayar's achievements have to be discussed? Chikkadevaraja Odayar checked the invasion of Shivaji. He captured Magadi and Madugiri. He purchased Bangalore from the Mughal military general. He started the Atara Kacheri. The postal system came into being. A dam was constructed across the river Kaveri, very important. Chikka Devaraja and Dodda Devaraja canal were also constructed for irrigation. He had patronized many poets. He had the title like Karnataka Kavi Chakravarti, Apratima Veera, Tenakana Raja and Navakoti Narayana. Very important. Which are the important wars and the treaties? We can expect it for 1 mark. First Anglo-Mysore War, Madras Treaty, ended with the Madras Treaty. Second Anglo-Mysore War, Treaty of Mangalore. Third Anglo-Mysore War ended by the Treaty of Srirangapattanam. Failures of 1857 revolt or the first war of Indian independence. The compulsory question in every question paper, we can expect it for 3 to 4 marks. What are the expected questions? What type of questions can be asked based on this theme? What are the causes for the failure of 1857 revolt? Explain the reasons for the failure of the revolt of 1857. The first war of Indian independence in 1857 did not bring expected results. Give reason. Explain the causes for the failure of the revolt of 1857. What are the reasons for the failure of First War of Independence? So what are the main reasons? It is lack of unity, leadership, planning, organization, common goal, lack of strategies, lack of expertise and lack of support from Indian rulers. Very important. That is why we said that lack of unity, then no proper direction, and it was not an organized struggle. Now, the theme is based on Subhash Chandra Bose's role in freedom struggle. We can expect that for 4 mark. What are the questions based on this theme? Explain the role of Subhash Chandra Bose in Indian national struggle or in the freedom struggle of India. He was a revolutionary fighter known as Netaji, organized Indians in abroad, toured to organize Indians, that is in abroad, outside India. He was the president of Haripur Convention, tried to get the help of Hitler, important. He founded Forward Bloc, founded INA in Tokyo, called for Delhi Chalo. There was a battle between INA and British. and Subhash died in a plane crash. Coming to Nehru's contribution, which is expected for 4 marks, explain the contribution of Nehru after becoming a prime minister. Nehru was the pioneer of developmental program in independent India. Explain Jawaharlal Nehru's contribution to the development of India. Either of the way the question can be asked. He was the architect of industrialization, modern India, 5-year plan, Panchashila principles, architect of atomic energy, non-aligned movement, foreign policy, achieved integration of princely states in India. Next is a 4-mark expected question. Measures undertaken to eradicate gender discrimination. Very important. What are the measures undertaken by the government to eradicate gender discrimination? What are the measures taken by the government to improve the status of women? It was asked in June 2017 and 22 and also in April 2022. In recent days, situations are supporting to women to achieve betterment. How? It was asked in September 2020. The government has committed to improve the status of women. Justify your answer. The meaning of the question is one or the other same. The way the question will be presented is different, but you will involve these key points to present your answer. So, which are those measures undertaken by the government? First is women education, Dowry Prohibition Act, Stree Shakti, self-employment, Mahila Mandalas, Yuvati Mandalas, women self-help groups, women cooperatives, women commissions, reservation in government jobs, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, reservation, local body. Coming to the next expected question for 4 mark. Actions taken for the empowerment of gender minorities. This was for gender discrimination that was between male and female in order to improve the status of women. These are the key points you have to remember. Now, what are the initiatives have been taken to eliminate discrimination of gender minorities? The Protection of Transgender Minority Act 2019, Integrated Rehabilitation for the Welfare of Gender Minority Persons scheme implemented, a National Council for Gender Minority Persons have been formed, a national portal for transgender created, shelter houses named Garima Griha are being constructed. Karnataka has implemented the gender minority state policy in 2017 itself, giving opportunities to get education, joining government jobs and contest in elections also. 1% reservation is given in state government jobs. Very important. Next is the 3 marks question, expected 3 mark question. The differences between organized and unorganized workers. Organized workers, they work in organized sectors. They have fixed wages. They have fixed time for work. They have medical facilities. Whereas unorganized workers, they work in unorganized sectors. They do not have fixed wages, no fixed time for work, no medical facilities. Next, one of the important topics is problems of unorganized workers. What are the problems they face? It is expected for 2 mark. It was asked in 2019, 22 and 23. List out the problems faced by unorganized sector workers. The unorganized workers are not bound by any rules. They get only low wages. They have no medical help. They are denied from job security. Sometimes unorganized workers were harassed by the entrepreneurs. Expected 3 mark question, which will be related to legal and constitutional measures to eradicate untouchability. What are the constitutional and legal measures undertaken to eradicate untouchability? Explain. Explain the constitutional and legal measures undertaken to eradicate untouchability. Explain the constitutional and legal measures undertaken to eradicate untouchability. How is the government trying to solve untouchability? In recent days, the practice of untouchability in India has started declining. Give reason. In recent days, the practice of untouchability is fading in India. If so, justify your answer. So, which are the points that should be involved in your answer? Article 17 prohibits untouchability. Untouchability Crime Act of 1955, Civil Rights Protection Act of 1976. Practicing untouchability is a punishable offense. Right to vote, right to participate in election, reservation in education and employment. Next, a 3-mark question can be expected. In soil erosion, its causes, effects, and conservation method. What are the causes for soil erosion? First, let us have a look on that. The causes are deforestation, overgrazing of animals, unscientific methods of cultivation, which is happening every now and then, over irrigation, manufacturing of bricks, tiles, and pots. So, what are the effects as a result of this? Accumulation of silt, rivers cause floods, river change course, loss of fertility in the soil, low groundwater level, vegetation dries up, drought increases. So, what are the conservation methods to be undertaken to avoid these effects? Afforestation, counter plowing, construction of bunds, terraced agriculture, preventing of deforestation, control overgrazing, planned use of water, construction of check dams. So we can expect this topic for 3 marks, that is related to forest, its importance, causes of destruction, and methods of conservation. So what is the importance of forest? Pure air, food, and fodder is provided from these forests. It brings good rainfall. It controls soil erosion. It is the shelter house for many animals and birds. We get medicinal plants. It attracts tourists. It provides employment and it controls ecological balance. Very important point. What are the causes of destruction? Why the forest is being destructed? It is due to expansion in agriculture. It is one of the reasons. Animal grazing, construction of roads and railways. This is the major thing happening nowadays. Construction of irrigation projects, forest fires, and mining, which is happening actually in a very large scale. Kolkata, Vishakhapatnam, Chennai, Nilgiris, Bangalore, Mangalore, Bhadravati, and Bombay High. Here it is the 82.5-degree east longitude, Bakranangal, the Vindhya range, the Damodar project, Utkal coast, Coromandel coast, river Kaveri, the Malabar coast, Canara coast, and the Konkan coast. Coming to the airport and projects, Delhi airport, Nagarjuna Sagar project, Salim project, Tungabhadra project, Kochi, Kanyakumari, Indira Point, Goa, and Mumbai. Here is the Mount Everest. This is the flow of river Ganga, river Narmada, river Godavari. This is the Western Ghats and this is the Eastern Ghats. All the best for your examination. Hope this video will help you in your preparation.